Hello everyone, this is Lakana and welcome back to the New Year's Day video on the Great Build YouTube channel. That's what I would be saying, but I was having some internet troubles when I got back to my house from visiting my family, and thus the video has been delayed till today. Don't worry, the video schedule will continue as normal, except with the fact that I'm doing 2 videos per week instead of 1 video per week for the foreseeable future. Just gonna test this out, see if more videos grabs in more viewers, or if it's actually something that I'm able to do to keep you updated on what I do in the LEGO City. Now, for this New Year's video, we're going to be taking a look at what I did over the last month now that I've removed all the Christmas decorations. So this serves as a video for viewers who may have joined the channel or started watching videos on the channel during months that aren't the holiday season. So this gives them a chance to see what's happened as without having to watch all of the different Christmas bits that I've been throwing into the past few videos. This is also a video that we're going to discuss what the future plans for LEGO City are, and some of the interesting things that I have plans to do over the course of this next year. So without further ado, let's get into some of the updates from the LEGO City. Right off the bat, you can see here we have a mail truck, and this is part of a video where I built an entire post office with mail truck. The post office is actually over here. It's been placed in the back of this block here. It's basically a skyscraper because there's multiple floors to it, and it just adds some more depth to the city. The color scheme used in the post office and the mail van is actually based off of my old mail airplane set, which is one of the first city sets I've ever owned, so I thought that was pretty fun. Speaking of sets that I've owned for a while that I've decided to do something about, I have here, in this garage to this upgraded firehouse that I did, I'll talk about that in a minute, I upgraded my first LEGO fire truck set as well. And in that video, I mentioned that I would be showcasing what this fire truck looks like when it's all ready to fight fires from the tallest of buildings in the city. So, let me take a bit to set this up right now, and I will be back with the fire truck in its firefighting position. So here's the fire truck now that it's all in its firefighting position with the ladder fully extended. You can see the bottom can still swivel like it always does in the original model, but it is extended a little bit to the back, so you need a little bit more clearance there. And the little support beams on the side that I would guess act as ways to stabilize the vehicle when it's in this position are still the same. But of course, the ladder has been extended so that it's longer and can reach the taller floors. This is just a simple inclusion, but I think it's pretty fun. Now, let's talk about the fire station. This fire station is a LEGO City Fire Station set that I purchased when it was on sale on Black Friday, and I purchased it from a local drugstore nearby when I was visiting my family for Thanksgiving. Now, what I did with this set was I not only reviewed the original set, I also upgraded it to fit in the city, and then furthermore placed it in the city, which caused a whole bunch of things to move around, including creating some cool diagonal roads, and moving the train station and decreasing the size of the town square just a bit. But of course, this also leaves a parking lot in the back to park the rest of the fire vehicles that aren't currently inside of the firehouse. Now, as you saw earlier, the large ladder truck that I have here actually can fit in the fire station. And this is intentional because I decided to make the actual size of the garage longer to be able to fit this fire truck specifically. So, that's just a fun little feature that I've added in for this fire station. Now, moving over to the other side of the city, we have other fire station updates. I've also created a forest fire station at the edge of the residential area so that when there's a fire in the forest or on the mountains or at the farm, there's a closer fire response specifically for that. And of course, these are all using the new highlighter yellow or rescue sort of yellow color that LEGO's released recently, and I've modified some of my older sets like the pickup truck that's sitting in the firehouse there, and some of the other things from the forest fire line, as well as creating some custom vehicles like this little tiny, I guess, emergency Kubota light vehicle. It's a small 4x4 light vehicle that can get through smaller spaces. Additionally, while we're over here, we're going to talk about the train updates that happened. Now, the train updates that happened we have here is the freight train design, and this is using my old infrared motor system, and that's mainly because you can't really control the speed on this thing anymore. The sensor's basically dead. But it does still work, and it's a nice small inclusion to the city, and everything is color-coded on this train with sand green and different shades of gray, using the light bluish gray and light gray. So, that's that train, but that's not the only train we upgraded here. We also have this train over here, which is the steam train. I based this off the Lone Ranger train set that came out a while back. And, of course, I made sure to upgrade it with lots of gold and made a more sleek, modern design, and created some custom passenger cars as well. I think this does a really good job of creating like a very fancy train design for supposedly the higher class to be able to ride. But I also made an upgrade to a completely different train. Now, if you've seen any of my older videos, you'll know that I used to use the old LEGO City Red electric motor train, but instead here, I've actually upgraded to a Bluetooth motor system, which works better than the old power function system that the freight train is currently using. This motor was given to me by my brother because he had one of those trains that he's no longer using, so a big shout out to him for the motor being used in this train. I highly appreciate it. Now you can see I have a black stripe that goes across the top of the train with some of these like spikes at the end. I wanted to make it look like a shrine like in the LEGO City, because this LEGO City is based off of the world of Ninjago. And of course, the front has a very big sloped design, kind of like a bullet train is kind of what I was going for. And of course, there's room for people to fit inside. And I've actually switched up the couples. Originally, I had custom built couples using the just simple Technic pieces, but after realizing that I had a better solution using the old magnetic couples used on the older LEGO trains, I think this works a lot better, and the magnets, for some reason, on those are a lot stronger than the newer ones. So this train can move around the city at high speeds. We will end the video off on that, actually. But moving on, we have a couple of other small details that have happened over the city, most of which are just small movements of things, like there's this little post office, like, newsstand building here. Not exactly sure what I'm doing with this, but for now, let's just add some space to that. And, of course, we have the elevated railway now completed, utilizing all of these new, like, tile pieces that I've accumulated over the times, and built a train station over here as well, so that when I get to building the botanical garden and the spaceport and the campsite, there's a train station over there for that. Now, of course, I've mentioned multiple times that in the future we're going to be having a giant mountain built here, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But for now, let's talk about some more immediate things that I'm going to be doing in the future, so you can have some things to look forward to in the new year. So, during the new year, I have a couple of projects that I want to do. First of all, I want to fill up this block here. I've been gathering some pieces to do some cool custom builds. I want to have like a department store, a huge apartment complex somewhere, and I want to have a lot of fun building these custom buildings in this block here. Originally, I was going to wait for more of these Creator 3-in-1 sets to release, but turns out that's not going to be happening for a while, because for the foreseeable future, none of the LEGO leaks state that we're getting anything remotely close to the same scale that I'm used to working with. So I'm going to build some custom things and show you some tips and tricks on how to save on parts when you're trying to build buildings for your LEGO City. Now, that's not all. I also want to add some more Ninjago elements, including moving some of my Ninjago buildings into the city in some places, including the Ninjago Core Temple, which you'll see in the next video, which we're going to be placing somewhere over in the back area of the suburbs. Now, something else I'd like to do over time is fill out some more buildings on this section of the street over here. Since I've modified this area to fit the fire station and changed up where the beach is, I've added another road for future expansions in the city if I choose to make it any bigger. However, this also leaves room for more buildings on this side of the street. So over here in the corner of the city is where we'll be building the mountain. Now, I've kind of pointed little hints here and there about the fact that I'm going to be putting a mountain in the corner of the LEGO City, but this is the year where I'm going to really get into it. It's not going to happen immediately. I have some other projects I'd like to take care of first. However, I will say that I'm very thrilled with the idea of doing the mountain in the corner, because that way I only have to build 2 sides of the mountain. You won't have to see the other 2. This makes it a very easy build to do, but it will still take a lot of time and a lot of parts. Thus, I will be doing one weekly update on how the mountain is progressing, And then the other video for the week will usually be something else going on in the city, a set review, a mock review, or something else of the like that I come up with to do. So, things in the mountain that I have plans for will include a training dojo, so the ninja that live in the world of Ninjago can have a training place here. There will also be a hot springs area, because if I have a spring, that would be a good reason for why the water would be falling down from the mountain and flowing into this river we have here. Additionally, at the top of the mountain, I want to have a dragon's nest because in reality, this city has a lot of vehicles that are supposed to run on electricity, and having an electric dragon live on top of the mountain would be a good supply of said electricity, as it would probably need to discharge some of that in order to stay healthy, I would guess. So, it's just going to be another inclusion to add some lore to the city. Additionally, I want to keep working on the forest over here, like the campground area, and work on the botanical gardens this year as well, because these are areas that I now have a lot of space to work with and have a bunch of different ideas on what I can do. Additionally, I'm going to have to modify the train track to fit through the mountain. I'm going to actually have the train track go through the mountain, which is going to be fun. There's going to be like a little tunnel section, so that's going to be fun as well. But that's just about all the future plans I have for the updates in the LEGO City today. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on the channel if you're new here. And, of course, I'm planning on doing videos twice a week, so stay tuned for many videos coming in the near future. And I hope you all have a great day.